The Song of the Common Man by CRISPIN HAULI. They drive me along, they do. These my brothers, no longer brothers. Their hands are whip along, they drive me. No longer am I the same mother's child. They push me along, indeed they do. These my sisters, no longer sisters. Their mouths are cannons, spittle of fire. No longer am I the same father's pride. They kick me along, they do. These my playmates, no longer playmates. Their actions are fates, my life they decide. No longer am I the same freeborn human. They abuse me, they do time and again. Fellow humans load me with their bundles. They are my masters and me a poor ass, to be driven, pushed, kicked, and abused. Having heard the poem, let us now look what the poem is about. The poem is about the feeling of a person whose fellows, friends, and relatives who are in power maltreat and disregard. According to the speaker, those in power maltreat the poor or the lower class. Who are brothers, sisters, and playmates? Those are fellow Africans who hold upper government positions. They misuse their power against their fellow Africans. What are the possible themes that can be found in this poem? The first theme is exploitation. Exploitation. People in power exploit the common people. They disregard them. The speaker says, they kick me along, they do. The speaker also says, fellow humans load me with all their bundles. This is exploitation. The second theme is classes in the society. In this poem, two classes are evident: upper class and lower class. Upper class or masters exploit, humiliate, and oppress the lower class. In this poem, they stands for upper class and me stands for the lower class. The speaker also says, they are my masters and me a poor ass. Another theme is lack of freedom. The poet shows that the masters have full control over other people's lives. The poor are denied freedom to decide on their affairs. It is the leaders who decide for them. The speaker says, their actions are fates. My life, they decide. My life, they decide. This signifies that the common citizens have no control over their lives. Another theme is betrayal of leaders. According to this poem, leaders who are chosen to save the citizens are against them. After entering into power, they betray their fellows. The persona says that his closest brothers, sisters, and playmates have betrayed their society. They are doing evils. Leaders kick, drive along, they whip and abuse the citizens. All those indicate the extent of betrayal to the citizens. Another theme, ladies and gentlemen, is disillusionment. The common people or citizens have lost hope. They no longer trust their leaders. The speaker, being discouraged and with no hope, he says, no longer am I the same mother's child, and no longer am I the same father's pride. Let us now look at form of the poem. By beginning, let us look the type of the poem. This poem is a free verse. It has equal number of verses in each stanza, but the length of verses differs from one stanza to another. Then what's the structure of the poem? This poem has 4 stanzas with 5 verses each. So the poem has 4 stanzas with 5 verses each. Then let's comment on the rhyme scheme. The poem has irregular rhyme scheme. The poem has irregular rhyme scheme. What about the language used? The poet has used a simple language reflecting anger of the speaker. Words such as they kick me along, they abuse me, they do, those are simple language indicators. Any figure of speech used in this poem? Yeah, we have metaphor. The poet says, their hands are cannons. Their hands are cannons. Has the poet used any repetition in this poem? Yes. In this poem, the sentence, they do, has been repeated several times. The sentence, they do, has been repeated several times.